just thank a few people who work behind the scenes to make sure that that this day can happen. First off, right in front of me here is Michelle Mueller, who helps behind the scenes to coordinate getting all the certificates, the awards, and everything squared away. So, Michelle, thank you so much. Also want to thank our HR department. I know we have a few people here, but who keep us all on track on years of service and all the pieces. So to Aaron and Kathleen and the team over at COT, thank you so much. And lastly, if you can give me a round of applause, we have a graduating senior who joined us today to help us with the accompaniment, and that is Misha Pan. So this is a wonderful event. Some might say the bittersweet piece, because it is a great opportunity for us to honor and celebrate Employees of the Year, Service Recognition Awards, and we have 3 here today who are receiving a 30-year recognition. But it's also that time when we are going to be saying goodbye to some colleagues who we've been working with for a number of years, and those are our retirees. And then also thinking about our national board. So we have lots to celebrate today as we move forward. And before we get started then, I think we have, I think I saw Marcy come in, so we're good to start on there. There's Marcy. I want to make sure that you're there. And then we have our board president here today as well, Stephanie Burnett. So we're going to start off with our Employees of the Year. We have Employees of the Year who are both certificated and classified, and I think it's important that we emphasize employees. We try really hard, even though at times it becomes challenging with the way that organizations work, to think of everyone as a teacher. That everyone is an educator, no matter what you do in this district, because you never know when you're going to have that opportunity to make a difference in the lives of kids. Some of the times it might be a bus driver, it might be a nurse, it might be a classroom teacher, it even might be a counselor and a counseling assistant as well. So we're going to start off with Chris McBurney, and I believe Joey McGowan, principal.
Good afternoon. Welcome to my old friend Chris McBurney. It must have been 23 or 24 years ago when I first met Chris. Her oldest son came stomping into my first grade classroom at West Mercer, and then a few years after that, her youngest son Matthew came. And at the time, we didn't know the gift of education that we had in Chris. She became a learning support services paraeducator maybe within that decade after that, and then went back to college to receive a teaching degree, and now we're lucky enough to have her as our learning support services teacher at Island Park. And there are many things that I could say about Chris. I think one of the things that's really the greatest is the way that she's able to help kids learn and grow when they're learning some specific literacy, strategic instruction, but they don't even realize that they're doing it. And they leave happy and excited with Chris. I mean, I don't think I've ever heard anybody complain about going to your class. Another thing that's really great that we should all study is Chris's patience, particularly when she's dealing with parents who are anxious and concerned and worried. Chris just has this skill about her to be able to make parents feel at ease and make them know that their kids are in good care. So we are fortunate to have a Chris McBurney at our school, and every school should have one, but you can't have this one because she's ours. And I just want to say all of us together are really happy and excited to celebrate that you are the education teacher, well, not the education teacher, the elementary teacher of the year in the Mercer Rundle School District. So congratulations.
I would just like to say a quick thank you to all of the amazing colleagues and to this district for raising me. I'm a homegrown educator. And although I'm a daughter and granddaughter of educators, my time here has really transformed me, and I am forever grateful for that, as well as for the amazing families and students and colleagues. Thank you.
Next up, I'm going to invite Mary Jo Budges to come up and talk about Marcy Brick.
Thanks, Brad. Oh my gosh, Joey, you're hard to follow. Marcy is maybe one of the most amazing people I have ever had the opportunity to work with. this year I've had the honor to sit across from her. My desk faces her desk, so we look at each other all day, which is great for her and even better for me. And the thing about Marcy is that every day she comes to school with an attitude that this is the best job, it's the perfect job, and that she is so lucky to be doing it. And sometimes I do not come with that same attitude. And she is the one who always lifts the people around her. She is kind and caring and loving and so, so good. And what she does with our kids and our families is tremendous. The way that she brings new families into our schools, she takes them on tours, she spends time answering their questions, she makes them feel so comfortable and confident. She works through really challenging like placement issues and class decisions, and they always leave feeling better than when they came, and they feel confident about our school, and they talk so kindly about being an Islander and are so excited to be part of it. And when we ask our staff to nominate our Employees of the Year, and some of the categories that they're thinking about is the employee's hard work and dedication to Islander is inspirational. The employee's positive influence is felt by students, staff, and community. And that is so true. It's just in Marcy's DNA. That is everything she does. And one of the people who nominated her, I wanted to read what they had to say. Marcy's an extraordinary asset at IMS. She brings an unwavering positive attitude to school every day. She is genuinely curious and caring about the students she serves, and her work reflects this in ensuring their schedule best meets their individual needs. Although she serves hundreds of students, her individual focus on their needs is exemplary. And that's exactly true. Marcy can make you feel like you're the only person in the room, even when it's fully crowded and there's hundreds of people there. She makes you feel important, like you matter, and like you are the one person that needs her attention. And that is a special gift, Marcy Bareka. And we are so lucky to have you at Islander.
I'm an ugly crier, so thank you. I did not need that. But she's right in that I love working at IMS. I feel so grateful every day to go into IMS, and we laugh every day. Middle schoolers are something else. So, but I'm just completely grateful for this job, and it's been such a wonderful experience. So thank you all.
And we're going to stay at Islander Middle School, and I think Mary Jo and Katie Gallagher are going to come up. And we are now going to get to hear about Denise Thomas.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Denise Thomas. She is a force to be reckoned with. I honestly have never had the opportunity to work with somebody with such passion and grit and compassion, leadership and dedication. It is inspiring every day. So she is our IMS Teacher of the Year, and she truly fits that bill because of the way that she instructs kids. And really what she does is she knows them, she understands them, and then she reaches them every single day in creative and thoughtful and ingenious and just phenomenal ways. And so that is one piece of who she is, but she's also this impressive leader at our school. She's on our building cabinet. She runs the Language Arts PLC. She is on our professional development team. And then this year, she has taken on this insane role of making our Gator Time reinvention come to life. And it was funny because last year, we had this idea of a way that we could better serve our kids through our Gator Time. And Denise happened to decide to be on the teacher team who was really rethinking and re-envisioning. And as we were bringing it to life, she came into my office one day and she said, you know, Mary Jo, you really need somebody who is dedicated to Gator time and who can really make this work, because if there isn't someone dedicated, it's not going to happen. And I said, oh gosh, I wonder if that could be you, Denise. And so she took it on this year and has done the most impressive job in creating a space and a place where kids have choice and autonomy and have so much excitement and energy. She turned something that was kind of dull and kind of mediocre and made it this fresh and phenomenal space where kids are excited to be there. Teachers are invigorated by the idea of providing choice and connection time with kids and opportunity to speak with one another and work together and team. It is just alive. And not only that, but she's finding tentacles into our community. She's finding ways to bring high school kids in and community members in. It is just at its very moment in time where it's going to explode into something phenomenal, and that's all Denise. I have to give it to Katie or I'll talk forever.
And she's taking away all my talking points. check. But my very first interactions with Denise were when I was an intern at IMS, and she came to me and she said, I need help with a student. And it has just been every moment that I have talked with Denise and been in her classroom, she knows every student. She knows what they need. She knows how they need to grow. And that's Denise as a person. Like, she is here for all of her students all the time, and she is looking for resources and looking for ways to help them reach grade level or go above grade level, and she does that year in and year out. And she is an amazing teacher, and also she's everywhere all the time. She is the queen of Gator time this year, and she has a wagon and she's dragging it around, and she has a room, and Denise just is an amazing human being who dreams. She dreams of what our school could be and what our students could be, and she dreams for her colleagues too. And so you are our teacher of the year.
Well, I don't need a microphone, I'm loud. But I feel like everyone should get this opportunity at some point in their lifetime to have people say such wonderful, amazing things. And I truly feel seen by you and everyone I work with at IMS, and it's great to be a Gator.
All right, we're going to move to our high school, and I'm going to invite Tony up, Kuhn, who is our Director of Maintenance, Operations, and Transportation, who is going to present for the legendary Lee Min-ha.
First off, I will bring us back on schedule because I am not as long-winded as I thought it was going to be Joby, but we got the other two up here. Plus, I promised Lee that I would only use 2 sentences because we had to pull him down here because he was set on his route today. So anyhow, but since joining the district in '99, Lee has been a dedicated value of our custodial team. This is all 2 sentences, so please, if I just run through this because I'm going to give this to Lee, there's no periods in this. He is always known for going above and beyond. He takes great pride in keeping our building polished, welcoming, and running smoothly. He has a strong work ethic, attention to detail, and willingness to help wherever needed, and that's district-wide. I mean, at 10 o'clock at night, I know I can call Lee as he works the evening shift at the high school, and he will run down to the middle school or Island Park and help out if needed. Whether he's supporting events at the high school elsewhere, covering extra shifts, he's known to come in and work 2 shifts at times as we have a hard time getting subs. He always has a smile on his face. He always has a crisp, clean haircut. And he truly is deserving of this award, and I congratulate you, Lee.
Can you what? I had to go.
I'm going to invite up our principal, Nick Wold, to introduce us to the high school Teacher of the Year, Michelle Hayes.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, I've worked a long time with Michelle, and we've shared many a laugh and many a tear, and I don't think she really wants a lot of the attention today or even the recognition, so I'll be as brief as I can, but I thought she would rather hear what her colleagues have to say about her and a few students have to say about her and her impact on our schools. So I'm going to read a few of these statements. I just thought they really captured Michelle's experience here at our school in a really beautiful way. So Michelle has been a steadfast advocate for all of our students at MIHS, whether through the clubs that she supports and leads, the countless hours she spends supporting students in Math Lab, or a tireless collaboration with case managers to ensure accommodations are implemented effectively. Michelle consistently puts students first. She works diligently to help every student learn at their highest potential and never loses sight of the importance of meeting students where they are. I deeply admire Michelle's commitment to her craft, her persistence, her ambitious drive to help every student cross the finish line successfully. Her impact on students and colleagues alike have been profound, and MIHS is better because of her dedication and care. Michelle is a colleague whom I've been lucky enough to work with for around 20 years. She's not only the consummate professional, but everything she does is for students. From high expectations for mathematical knowledge to personal behavior and accountability, she is relentless in her pursuit of students' growth. Her superpower as a teacher is the ability to connect with some of the most at-risk students and believe in them, not allowing them to hide and possibly not graduate, but doing everything ethically in her power to get them to the finish line. This care and support also comes through her colleagues. She is always willing to help out a sick colleague by covering a class, making copies, or checking in on a sub. The math department often benefits from her cooking, thank goodness, for the Italian grandma. Michelle is always open to reading my emails before I send them to make sure the tone and message is right, so I don't get myself into hot water with a reactionary response. Michelle is a teacher I respect and a colleague to count on and a friend I value. A few students got a chance to respond as well, which I thought would be really neat to share today. I entered high school without any confidence in math. I hadn't met standard on any state assessments in math since elementary school and enrolled in both algebra with Miss Yoder and Math Lab with Miss Hayes my freshman year, knowing I needed as much help as I could get. The support and explanations Miss Hayes provided allowed me to gain confidence in my skills and thrive in my algebra class. For the first time, for as long as I can remember, I understood math. Miss Hayes and Miss Ramsey never made me feel dumb for asking the simple questions. I continued with Math Lab the next year, and Miss Hayes this year as they moved into geometry, but the foundations she gave me in my understanding were so solid that at the semester I was able to drop the support class. Ms. Hayes was always supportive, responsive, and both a cheerleader and an advocate. Her classroom was a safe and supportive space for someone who has struggled in her math for a long time, and I'm grateful for her commitment not only to my success, but the success for every student in her class. Oh, one more. Ms. Hayes was not only an incredible teacher in the classroom, but was an important part of my education in many other ways, whether it was a last-minute math review session or the extra warm smile in the hallway. She was always there. It is hard to imagine what my experience throughout high school would have been like without Ms. Hayes. Thank you for not only being an amazing teacher, but an amazing human. Michelle Hayes.
Sure.
All right, thank you very much. I feel truly honored. One of the things that I think about is I moved out here in 1998 from New Jersey, and I never thought a 30 or 40 minute commute was very far. But when I had some people that were like, why do you work at Mercer Island? That's such a long drive. And then even more cute, a student was like, do you have a house on Mercer Island for when you're here during the work week? It's really very sweet, but the commute is fine. And you know, my response is always just, the students are wonderful here. I feel honored to work with the students here and just the whole staff. And that's my reason why the commute is nothing for just a great place to be part of. So thank you very much.
And our last employee of the year is unfortunately not here today, but has quite a crew. And so I'm going to invite up Hannah Bolivar to introduce us to Dawn Schiller.
Dawn's crew is right here, and a little over there. I've known Dawn a really long time. She's been a para all over the island and has been at Pathways for a while now. Since she's not here, I just wanted to read something that I sent her in congratulations. Dear Dawn, I'm so excited to share that you were nominated and selected as one of the recipients of the Classified Staff Member of the Year Award. In the nominations, people described you as exceptional, one of a kind, and an invaluable asset to our school community. Your ability to balance being a warm demander with deep compassion creates a structured, supportive environment where students truly thrive. You consistently go above and beyond, always keeping students learning at the forefront and never giving up on what's possible for each student. When I read, I run out of breath. What stood out most was how often people spoke about your consistency and your belief in student independence. You have a remarkable ability to understand the push and pull of growth, knowing exactly when to step in and when to step back so students can shine on their own. Your creativity and problem solving, such as developing meaningful hands-on strategies to increase participation, make a real difference in students' daily experiences. And your commitment to implementing programs with fidelity and never missing a day-to-day speaks to your professionalism and dedication. Beyond your work with students, your colleagues deeply value you as a collaborator and a leader. They highlight your ability to listen, to bring thoughtful and practical solutions to the table, and to support others with wisdom, honesty, and care. You make the entire team better. Dawn, this recognition is so well deserved. You are admired and respected by all of us who know you, and we are incredibly lucky to have you at Pathways.
Let's give one more round of applause for all of our employees of the year. At this time, I would like to invite up our friend and colleague Sally Lozier to present retirees. We'll kind of go back and forth. I think we have a few things to say about each of the retirees. Not all of them are here today, but we'll have a chance to go back and forth. So, good?
I don't know, we're totally disorganized.
Okay, do you want to hold on? Okay, we're going to start with Tanya Goodman-Sylvester. So Tanya isn't here today, but I'll start off with Tanya's, what I think is absolutely remarkable is Tanya's teaching career actually started in 1966 in the Everett Public School District. She taught there for 2 years in 66 and 67, and then 67, 68. She then moved south to Lake Washington School District, where she taught and was a librarian from 1968 to 1985. And then she joined the Mercer Island School District in 1985 and just retired this year. Counting all of that together, it's roughly 60 years of service to public education. Yes, Parker, you're halfway home. You know, when I talk to some of those who worked with her, creativity really comes to mind with Tanya. She made that library a home for all, including herself, putting up various displays, but you know, she had a love for reading, that when you have a career that spans that long, you can imagine how many lives she has touched and instilled the love of reading within. So it's an amazing accomplishment to be in a career that long, but I think it speaks to her and how much public education meant to Tanya.
Yeah, I don't think I need the mic. I'm
Okay.
very loud too. Tanya's not here, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about Tanya. She was a member all during that time, which is amazing. My memory of Tanya comes back to my children going to West Mercer, and the first time I walked into that library, it was like a museum. Unbelievable amount of things just to look at and do. Super cool place. So I'll miss her in the district. Absolutely. Great voice.
Next we'll do Karen Hummel. And Karen isn't here today either, but we want to say a few things about Karen. Karen worked in 2 school districts, started off her career down in Tacoma, where she taught for the first 5 years from 1994 to 1999, and then she joined the Mercer Island School District in 1999, and this will be her final year. In addition to giving us a gift of her own child, who's a teacher down at Lake Ridge Elementary, you know, it's hard to find someone in Karen who's more enthusiastic about their own classroom. If you had ever walked down the hallway, especially in that 200 hallway, and you saw her outside, you better have an extra 5 or 10 minutes because you're going in to see what's happening in Karen Hummel's classroom. She's so warm and loving, but as I talked to Mary Jo, just her versatility and her commitment. We know that sometimes it's hard to find subs, and we have last-minute positions to fill, and she was always one who would step forward during her planning time to make sure that one of the other classrooms could be covered for a colleague. Even in her last year, she continued to exemplify lifelong learning as she jumped into a role of teaching in a co-taught classroom, in a co-taught space. Down in the classroom, she taught 6th, 7th, and 8th grade math, and was always a staple down in the 7th grade classrooms as well. And one last thing that I had no idea about her until I talked to Mary Jo is she actually audited Mr. Ojeda's Spanish class one year so that she could learn Spanish. So during her planning time, she was actually auditing one of her colleagues' classes so that she could learn Spanish. So we'll miss Karen for sure. You know, her length in the career speaks to her commitment as well and her passion for education.
Yeah, I'm getting. Since Karen's not here, I'm not going to say a lot. Just thank her for her membership and all the work that she did for our district.
So staying down at IMS, want to say a few things and talk about Kauai Lee. Kauai, there you are. Come on up, Kauai. So if we're going to talk about science, you cannot talk about science at IMS without also talking about Kauai. She's not only an expert teacher, but she was really the backbone and the heart and soul of the Robo Lab, and she's also knowledgeable on other topics, including how to combine math and science and technology and engineering. I think you were STEM way before there was such thing as STEM.
Am I that old?
STEM's only been around a couple years. She's tremendously well respected amongst her colleagues as well as students. She's been such a great friend and colleague, especially to other paraprofessionals working alongside her. And one of the teachers down at IMS wrote to me and said, Kauai has been such an important part of IMS and has been a tremendous support in the math and Robo Lab classes for so many years. Kauai's contributions extend beyond supporting individual students, giving students clarity on coding concepts, or organizing Robo Lab materials. Her dedication and expertise to helping each student succeed is evident in her daily interactions. Whether supporting students who need extra guidance or challenging those ready to go further, she always meets students where they are with patience, encouragement, and care. Congratulations on your retirement.
I have a lot to say about Kauai that comes from IMS. What was really important to the people that I spoke to was her quiet demeanor, but strength in advocacy, her knowledge about our collective bargaining agreement for both our classified employees and also our certificated employees. People really appreciated everything that you were doing at IMS to support them and their working conditions. And we're gonna miss you so much in the union and in your leadership that was a part of a lot of what we did in the past few years. So thank you so much.
I'm gonna have Jessica come up and join me now. Because you can't talk about your own retirement, Sally. Jessica, do you want to start on this one?
Sure, yeah. I have it all written. Do you want to announce what it's for?
So this is a retirement for Sally. She can't say anything about herself. So good afternoon, everybody. Tonight we celebrate somebody who has shaped not only our union, but our schools, our profession, and so many lives along the way. Before serving as our union president, Sally was already known as a master teacher. She challenged students to think critically, created classrooms where every child felt seen and valued, and somehow managed to make learning both rigorous and joyful. Whether it was in advanced math groups, integrated projects, or simply the way she built community in her classroom, Sally always put students first. And then in 2018, she took on a new challenge, stepping into union leadership during one of the most pivotal moments in education history. She launched her presidency during the post-McCleary bargain, and under her leadership, our members saw historic improvements in compensation, protections, and working conditions. Soon after came COVID, bringing years of unprecedented challenges and constant negotiations. And through all of it, Sally led with humility and grace and unwavering strength, dedicating countless hours during her summer months and into the wee hours of the morning. But Sally's impact reached far beyond our bargaining table. She became a member of the WEA Board of Directors and advocated fiercely for public education, traveling to Olympia, meeting one-on-one with legislators, and partnering with labor allies, and rallying members to join her in doorbelling for pro-education candidates. What stands out most about Sally is that her leadership was never about recognition or ego. She guided with humility. She listened. She supported colleagues. She shared her wisdom freely. She helped people feel more confident, more protected, and more capable. Sally, thank you for your dedication to students, to educators, and to this community. Your leadership has left a lasting mark on all of us, and we are so grateful for everything that you have given. Congratulations on your retirement.
Stay up here. Before I say a few things, I did also want to invite up Aaron Battersby, who's worked alongside you and so much since the 2018 era on. So, Aaron.
So we're going to make her stand up here and feel very awkward and uncomfortable. So I'm sorry, Sally, I know this is not what you want to do, so I'll try to be sort of brief. But that's not actually my strong suit either, as you know. So here we go. Sally, as you prepare to retire from your role as MIA president, I just want you to know you're going to be missed. I spent a lot of time with you, and I will miss you. But I also want to take a moment to thank you for your partnership that we've shared over the years. You have been a fierce and unwavering advocate for your colleagues and for those in MIEA, even during challenging conversations, which there were a couple. I always respected that your work came from a place of genuine care for the people that you represented and for the profession you love. What I appreciated most, though, is that somewhere along the way we actually became friends. We spent a lot of genuine time together over the years, and while we were not always perfectly on task, which many of you know would also be a trademark of my work style, We somehow still managed to do really important work for staff and students that made this place a better place to work and to be a part of. There was a lot of laughter mixed in with the bargaining sessions, problem solving, and difficult conversations supporting members and kids alike. And I think that we made the work better and this place better. And I want you to know that you had a part in that. You also bring tremendous energy and commitment to everything you do. Whether it's skiing, supporting your colleagues, or simply striving for excellence in all aspects of your life, you do not really believe in doing things in half measures. Honestly, if retirement had a evaluation rubric, you'd be shooting for distinguished. I'm sure you're already figuring out what that is. I hope retirement brings you more time for fresh powder, adventure, laughter, and the people who matter most to you and your family and kids. This community has benefited greatly from your advocacy, your leadership, and your willingness to show up fully for others. So I just want you to know that we do appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I'm thankful that you got to be part of my last, 7 years with the district. And I hope that we continue to stay in touch. So thank you.
And I'll just fill in a few of the aspects of Sally's tenure. It was really one career built into two acts. The first act was in Seattle Public Schools, where Sally first started teaching in 1990. And then in 2012, I believe it was Nancy Lorem on her way out who hired you. And then David Hoffman came in. But I can remember those early days with Karita and Stephanie, and who else was on your fifth grade teams back then? Angela McCann, and there was quite a crew that was down there. But my first opportunity really to work with Sally was, as Aaron said, oftentimes at the bargaining table. And one time it was a 24-hour marathon. It was all the way through the night, working back and forth, trying to find what was going to be best for the district. It's also hard when you're an elementary teacher and you're the union president trying to find a position, because in high school or middle school, a .4 release or a .6 release comes in nice packets of classes. But when you're in elementary, it's not so easy to find that. And so over the last several years, Sally's been a 504 coordinator. She's been a learning support teacher. She's been a MI Online coordinator and instructor. And so it's really been appreciated how you took on a number of different roles in different buildings at different times under different circumstances. I think which speaks to you just wanted to do what you could to help the whole school district and to help students. So Sally, we're definitely going to miss you. Know that you still live nearby. Maybe we'll get some turns in up on the slopes for sure as we go through. But I do want to give you the mic as well. But congratulations, Sally.
I still don't want the mic. I want to thank Jessica for the nice words from you, and Aaron. I too appreciated everything that we did together. And actually, Fred, I think we collaborated well. I started as Mercer Island Education Association's president in probably the most stressful situation I could possibly imagine, which was standing at the admin building with a bullhorn talking about a strike. And that was never something that I saw myself ending up doing ever in my career. I spent 20 years in Seattle quietly doing my job with kids. That was what I did, was I advocated for kids. And what I have become here on Mercer Island, I don't think could have happened in Seattle. And there's a lot I owe to this district and the experiences that I've had here. I just want to thank everybody that is making this district better every single day. I've enjoyed working with the kids, with parents, with all of you who are in this room, with Fred, with HR constantly. And I just want to thank my own family. I appreciate you coming and doing this. It's going to be really hard for me to go from this world into something I haven't imagined yet, but I'm ready to go.
Our next retiree is also unable to attend today, but that is Shelley Sage. So Shelley started her career out at Children's Hospital, where she spent virtually the first decade of her career working in NICU and other units. She then decided she wanted to work in schools and take her nursing skills to schools, and worked in the Bellevue School District for roughly 8 years, and then joined the Mercer Island School District in 2008, where she'll be retiring this year. I've really known Shelley since 2013 when I got to the district office and I started working more closely with nurses across the district. And when I think back of, really what set Shelley apart, it would be hard, you'd be hard pressed to find someone with a deeper knowledge of our policies, our practices, and everything that has to do with healthcare and how it crosses over to education. It's not so simple as walking out of a hospital and into an education setting. And we've had many nurses along the years who have made that transition, and it's been Shelley who's helped them along the way to make that transition as smooth as possible. For those of you who've gone out on field trips and Shelley has been your nurse, sometimes the very attentiveness to details might drive you crazy, but trust me, it was always to protect you and to protect the students along the way. So her next career, as you may know, is going to be as a grandma, where she has a number of grandchildren and feels like a new one coming every year. So if you see Shelley, she's at the high school now. She's been at Island Park. In fact, she's worked in every single one of our schools in one way or another, supporting kids and their health. So congratulations to Shelley Sage. Our next retiree is John Southern, and I'm going to invite up Ann Dreves to talk about John. Just some background, John started off as the tech specialist at IMS back in 2006. That was kind of the beginning of the technology era where you needed tech specialists and you needed more than just someone coming in occasionally. He then moved to Lake Ridge in 2014 and has been really a steadfast support at Lake Ridge before then, taking his show on the road and not just serving Lake Ridge but other schools. So Andrews, a little about John.
And John can't be here today because he's currently getting surgery on his eye. So John, wish you well in your recovery, and hopefully when you watch this, you're doing well. John, as Fred mentioned, has worked for Mercer Island for 20 years. And some of you may already know this, but he actually started his career as a police officer in San Diego. And so, certainly value his service, but he brought that level of that care for others into education. John utilized his skills providing training and his ability to adapt and be flexible to supporting our schools. As Fred mentioned, John started here supporting our middle school, and over the course of his tenure, technology has changed significantly. John has been a part of rolling out our one-to-one iPad program. He helped transition us from first class to Office 365, and then also to Google. He helped us in transitioning from projectors to Promethean screens and supported over a dozen different Mac OS upgrades over the years. During his tenure, Apple ran out of names of big cats to name their Mac OS updates to, and had to transition to state parks. Regardless of what changes were happening with technology, John was always a constant in our schools. His wife, Sue, spent many years as a counselor at high school and has now transitioned into supporting students as they explore colleges. As John transitions into retirement, he and Sue are building a new home in Las Vegas. I wish John many more years of attending Comic-Cons, searching for unique paintings and Godzilla memorabilia, and many, many more trips across the globe. John is known for some of his travels. Congratulations, John, and I hope some of your adventures bring you back to Mercer Island.
Patty Williams, come on up. Oh, you get this one. I'll let you start this.
She probably thinks I'm gonna roast her a little bit. Nothing, I don't think anything would probably shock her. It'd be fine. Hi, I'm Danielle. So Patty's coworkers, many are in this room here because, as you will find out, Patty has been in the district many years and across different buildings. Her coworkers describe her as a calm presence, a kind that comes with experience and confidence. Patty worked with students from elementary to middle school, from high school to Pathways. She worked in every building in the district. She supported students in classrooms, in small groups, and one-on-one. Her assignments changed as needed, following the students throughout high school, teachers to Crest, and then moving and supporting and shifting to young adults and teens to elementary students. What a winding path in your years, 16 and a half, if I'm right, correct? 16 and a half years in the district, which began in the transportation department, wound through MIHS, and then finished here at Northwood, which is where I had the privilege of working with her. Regardless of the building, the department, our program, our position, Patty engaged with colleagues and worked collaboratively on best practices to support students toward independence. Very key, toward independence. Even as guiding principles and practices were honed over the years, she adjusted and adapted, becoming skilled and knowledgeable. She showed up and stepped up for each student every day and for each staff member. She's warm and compassionate. Patty retired early this year, and you are deeply and dearly missed by your colleagues and your students.
So Patty, I'm going to add some of this from some of your colleagues. I believe we first met at Lake Ridge when you were a sub, and I was the principal. So some things about Patty. Patty was a great addition to the Pathways program. This is from Karen. Patty is smart, fun, and a team player. She put her heart into every assignment which was given to her. Patty has the ability to bring a team together and to see the best in everyone. Patty's always been kind, patient, dependable, and a professional. She does not mind helping, and she cares about people and the kids in her care. Patty has a wonderful sense of humor, has always been a joy to work with and have on our team. And a testament to how her colleagues feel about Patty is that they are always happy to show up for her because she is consistently there for everyone else. Thanks, Patty, for all that you did for our students.
I'm not very good at this. How do you
You're good. You're
push
good.
it?
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
There you go. You're on.
Got it?
You're live.
Okay, I'd like to thank Mercer Island School District for 16 years of employment. It has been my pleasure to work with our students and to help them reach their learning goals. I learned some things too. I learned that I have some wonderful friends that I made along the way, and they were my unexpected treasure, and I'm planning on keeping them. I'm ready for the next journey that I will be on, I'm sure, soon, and thank you so much for your support.
We're going to move on now to our National Board certification. I'm going to bring up Aaron Miller and...
I didn't win the award.
So we have 3 teachers who are continuing with their national boards. To earn a national board is one thing. To be able to maintain it is also another task. So Aaron.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I did not win this award. I don't have the persistence or the grit or the determination to do all this work that takes place while also teaching or being a music teacher or being a gym teacher, which our 3 recipients are, to do that while doing their other job or their real job is just a testament. I know a lot of people around this room have this certification, the national boards. It sounds to me like it involves a lot of persistence, a lot of introspection, a lot of reflection, and just getting to know the kids in front of you and how they can get better and how they can grow. So we do have 3 recipients this year. These are all renewals, so it's not their first time, but they've gone back again and done it again. So good for them. So I'll invite all 3 of them up, and we can give all 1 round of applause. Angela Carey, there's Angela back there. And maybe, Angela, why don't you wait up here, and maybe Ian, you can get a picture of all 3 together. Lori D. Slowinski. And Sarah Hart. I don't see Sarah, so we get the picture of the 2 of them, and congratulations.
And our last awards today are going to be our years of service. And we have a tradition in our district to recognize staff members who have been here 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, and on from there. And as I said, we have 3 that we're going to recognize with 30 years of service. What I thought we would do today, because it's kind of tricky to weave in and out, and it's also been nice actually for those who haven't been able to attend, when I've been able to go down to one of the schools or at least send down the certificates, is to allow our staff members to be recognized in front of their colleagues at their own schools as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read off our years in the 5-year bands, and if your name is said, if you please just stand up, and then at the end of that band we'll give you a round of applause. So if we start off here with our staff members here for 5-year service recognition, we have Claudia Allard, Lindsay Blaine, Yanping Tai, Roxanne Chan, Emily Curtis, Chelsea Tiskovich, did I say that right? Close? Sitkovich. Jacob Illig, Elise Forrester, Linda Geppen, William Gertis, Ian Henry, Lance Kinsey, Misuk Lee, Zach McCulley, Katie Ramsey, Linda Strike, Canada Chio, Austin Ward, Lucas Bitfelt, Jen Williamson, Mary Woodgate, Chunan Zhang. Please give them a round of applause. Before I announce the 10-year service recognition, which is even longer, we hear about the burnout in education and that it's hard to retain staff members for even more than 2 and 3 years. And something that has always struck me about this portion of the event over my years in the district is just how many people stay in our school system. And I think that is part of the collaboration of working together. It's the support. It's the incredible kids we get to work with, the community that supports us. But I think it's the way that we work together as a team that creates that. I know I certainly didn't think that I was going to be here as long as that I have. When I came, I was thinking 5 years I would have been doing well. And here I am, but it's part of all of us working together. So our 10-year service recognition, I saw her here. Lindsay Adamson, where are you, Lindsay? I saw you there. Carly Adams, Aaron Battersby, Jennifer Blazer, Mon Chung, Yan Dong, Lisa Dean, Mike Diamond, Yan Fatan, Janelle Foss, saw Janelle here, Sabine Friedman, Kate Halter, Miranda Hayes, Melissa Hersey, Tara Hucktrader. I can never get that one right. Hillary Johnson, Noel Kaltoff, Danny King, Tree Lam, Becky Lamaster, Kua Lee, Mai Luke, Katie McCon, Guan Kong No, Lon Win, Danielle Orr Bennett, Rebecca Reed, Rochelle Robinson, Shifu Ra, Nick Stafford, Jewelry Ulrich. Congratulations. Now to our 15-year service recognition awards. Carrie Goldner, Rebecca Hedlund, Donna Johnston, Daniela Melgar, Dana Parkey, Andrews Ronzer, Leslie Sherrick, Dawn Schiller, Crystal Tatigui. 20 years, David Baxter, Meredith Carlson, Maria Fontana, Sharon Jarnigan, Heather McClyman, Mike Neff, Shannon Sue, John Southern, Grant Weed, Cornelius Williams, Nikki Winder. 25-year service recognitions in our district. Angela Carey, Patry Collins, Kara Millsap, Jamie Prescott, and Kay Walker. And our next three, who are 30-year winners, I'll invite them to come on up here. Come on up, Parker Bixby. Jackie Garcia Faber, come on up, Jackie, I see you back there. And Diane Nielsen, is Diane here? How about for a few words of wisdom? We have a couple minutes. Come on.
Valuable mic time. The jazz ensemble's playing the Triple Door tonight, 7 o'clock. June 8th, 5th, 6th, 7th graders in the high school gym at the Band Blast. You want to see some great kids making great music? It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much.
So as we tell the students, you know, school isn't actually over till June 18th, so let's keep focused, okay? Let's make good choices all the way to the end. I think this event always gives me the energy that I need to get all the way to the end. When you get to hear stories about our colleagues and the impacts that they've made on colleagues, on students, on families, and then us personally, you know, that's what keeps us in it. It's the relationships at the end of the day. And sometimes those relationships are for just a few years because we get to know someone who moved from one school to another, and sometimes that's for you know, an entire career. But this is a place where you can make friends and feel like we have a family together. I just want to thank everyone in this room, the families who joined us today to celebrate your loved ones, whether or not they're retiring or being recognized for Employee of the Year, National Board, or their service in our district. You know, that means a lot for you to show up, but also to everyone here who I get to work alongside every single day. It is truly an honor to get to be a part of this organization. We each have a role in it, but like I said at the beginning, we're all teachers. We're just trying to make a difference in the life of a kid each and every day. So thanks for all you do. There are refreshments there. Stick around as long as you'd like, and thanks for being here tonight.